Reggie, in California, it's sunny, it's 75. In the Midwest, it's cold, and you're inside. You got the fireplace going. You're watching that game. And think about this. The Wolverine seniors will not have a chance to beat the Buckeyes. And the seniors at Ohio State will not get another chance to win a gold pan. So devastating.
It's truly devastating. I mean, some people plan their entire year on this. Some people might have even planned, their family Christmas around this. And maybe I'm one of those people. But it's devastating, I think, too, because it's such a cultural thing in Michigan and Ohio State. I can go ahead and say Michigan for you, Coach. But, growing up there in Columbus, Ohio, you realize the importance of this matchup. As a young kid, you're out there playing in the backyard, playing the street. You're acting as if you're an Ohio State Buckeye. You're acting as if you're a Michigan Wolverine. And it's also used as a recruiting tool. I remember being recruited by both schools. And obviously, Ohio State understand the importance of it. But on the other side with Michigan, I remember meeting Bo Schembechler with my dad and walking up and said, "Are you ready to go back into Columbus, Ohio and go beat those Buckeyes?" And I remember I was just taken back by how awesome that was their mindset on the other side of it. So it's sad to see the fact that, we haven't seen this game be canceled since, 1917, World War I, and now COVID.
102 years.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Wow, crazy. All
right, well, the news is not all bad for Ohio State. On Wednesday, the Big Ten officially changed its policy that teams must play 6 games to be eligible for the conference championship game. So the Buckeyes have had 3 games canceled, which left them with just 5 games played overall, meaning Ohio State will face Northwestern next Saturday in the Big Ten Championship game at noon Eastern on Fox, with Big Noon Kickoff live from Indianapolis starting at 10 a.m. Eastern. Matt, are you comfortable with Ohio State's resume?
I am, and we always knew that this year the committee would have a really difficult task because of the discrepancy of games. You have teams, conferences playing 10, 11 games. Ohio State will finish with 6 games, but look, when I look at the resume, 2 top 25 wins. We know Indiana was a really good win. That was a good football team. Northwestern in the top 20 right now. And when we turn on the tape, Coach, you always talk about that. What do you see? I see a top 4 football team. I see an elite offense with Justin Fields. I see a defense that's improved every single week. Are they perfect? Are they as good as they were last year? Maybe not. But in my opinion, right now, as well as the committee, view them as the top 4
I love how you're
team.
assuming they beat Northwestern, by the way. I'm just saying. Just putting that out.
Well, we're talking about if they're a playoff
Northwestern.
team. That resume will help. That's another top 25 win.
Yeah, I like Ohio State as one of the top 4 teams. And the only reason I have them ranked higher only reason I have Notre Dame ranked higher is because they won't play as many games as Notre Dame. Now, if Ohio State and Notre Dame play the same amount of games, Ohio State would be better. Like Matt said, when you
it's
turn
a great
on
fictional story, but that's not the reality we're talking about this year, Reg.
when you turn on the film, they passed the eye test. This is clearly one of the most dominant teams in college football. They have arguably the most dominant quarterback in college football. And that win over Indiana, I don't penalize them for that. I think that's a good win. And I think Indiana would beat a lot of teams that are ranked higher than them right now.
I think Reggie has a great point. I never really thought of it that way, but the wear and tear at those other 4 games, who knows what happens? A high ankle sprain, something happens, you lose your best player, you might lose a game. But I think the job of the College Football Playoff Committee, get the 4 bet. There's no doubt they're one of the 4 bet. The argument should stop there. NFL talent all over the place, one of the best offenses in America. Defense has got to get better, but there's no question. But I get what Reggie says, and I think the College Football Playoff Committee, like Matt said, like we've been saying for the last 3 or 4 weeks, those 2 awful words, a look test, they're going to have to look at the look test because everything is unequal.
Mm-hmm. No, and that's like my biggest issue with that when you look at everyone's resume right now. If we're talking resumes, no, Ohio State does not have a resume that should get them into the playoff when you look at their body of work. Now, are they one of the top 4 teams in the country? Yes. When I press play, Coach, or when we put on the tape, look at the look test, they do look like one of the best teams in the country. And I think, if you just go back a year ago, right, one of the things being a Notre Dame alum is we always get knocked for not playing in a conference championship game. And if you go back a year ago, we keep talking about that 13th game indicator, that data point, or that conference championship game. We make a big difference talking about how big that conference championship game is. Yet in a season like this, we're talking about the potential of teams playing 11 games versus only a team playing 6 games if we're assuming Ohio State wins out. So I understand it's difficult for the College Football Playoff Committee to look at the resumes and try to determine that, but you're probably going to have to throw it out the window because Ohio State is one of the top 4 teams. Unfortunately, we just got to get rid of this argument of trying to find equity within everything in COVID.
2020, everything's out the window.
I was going to say nothing should remain the same as what it's been given the situation.
Start your Saturday strong at 10 Eastern with a legendary college football lineup on the Big Noon Kickoff Show. Big Noon Kickoff on Fox.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoy that clip, make sure you click subscribe somewhere down here. From game highlights to exclusive interviews and rankings, we've got everything you need as a college football fan right here. College football on Fox.